It started like any normal evening. I had made reservations at our favorite restaurant, a quiet little place we had been going to for years. I thought we would have a peaceful dinner, maybe talk about our week, laugh over old memories, and enjoy the familiar comfort of each other's presence. Around 6, I received a text from my wife, Sarah. "Can't talk. I'm in a work meeting." I didn't think much of it at the time. She often had long meetings, and I trusted that she was genuinely busy. I smiled, even felt a little proud of her dedication. I ordered a drink at our usual table, picked the corner spot by the window, and waited, letting myself relax for the first time in weeks. But something in my gut told me that tonight would be different, though I didn't yet know just how much. She arrived about 20 minutes later, dressed impeccably with that confident smile that always drew people in. But instead of coming straight to me, she waved at someone across the room, someone I didn't know, and laughed at his joke. Not a friendly, polite laugh, but the intimate, flirty, kind share when they feel a connection. My chest tightened instantly. I tried to catch her eye, nudged her shoulder lightly, but she brushed past me, smiling at the man as though I wasn't even there. The realization hit me hard. She had lied. She wasn't in a work meeting. She was here at the same restaurant with someone else. My fingers tightened around my glass. I didn't shout. I didn't move. I just watched, heart pounding, trying to process the betrayal unfolding right in front of me. I didn't act immediately. I stayed calm, sitting in the corner, pretending to sip my drink while my entire world silently crashed around me. For weeks, I had noticed changes. The late-night phone call she hid, the sudden obsession with new clothes. The night she said she was busy with work, but seemed unusually cheerful when she returned. I had wanted to believe I was imagining things. But now, in stark reality, I had proof. She was laughing, leaning close, touching someone else as if I didn't exist. It was deliberate, calculated, and yet I didn't panic. I realized that my calmness in this moment would be my strongest weapon. I didn't need to shout. I didn't need to embarrass her. The truth would speak for itself. Her phone buzzed and she glanced down without noticing me. Another text appeared on my phone from her, smug and casual. "Can't talk. Tied up in a meeting." I smiled faintly, took a deep breath, and typed back, "Funny. I'm sitting in the same restaurant." I hit send and leaned back, watching her expression change. At first, confusion flickered across her face, then shock and finally pure white panic. Her eyes widened as the realization hit. She hadn't planned for this. She hadn't considered that I could see her truth without confronting her, without arguing, without creating a scene. And then the people around her began to notice the subtle tension, the change in her posture, the faltering smile. It was all visible to everyone within a few tables' radius. Sarah's face turned pale. Her hands trembled slightly as she tried to cover her reaction. But the truth is hard to hide when it's written on every inch of your body language. The man she was with froze mid-laugh, sensing the sudden tension. A few diners glanced over, curious about the sudden awkward energy that had filled the room. I stayed calm, sipping my drink, letting the truth unfold naturally. No words were necessary. The exposure of her lie in front of everyone was enough. She had expected a private deception hidden carefully, shielded from scrutiny. She hadn't expected me to confront it so calmly, so publicly, without raising my voice, without losing control. And that's what made her panic. She tried to recover, stammering, "I can explain." But her words sounded hollow, desperate. I didn't respond. My silence was deliberate and the weight of it filled the room. Her boss and colleagues glanced nervously between the two of us, picking up on her discomfort before I had even moved. I realized then that she had been caught, not just by me, but by everyone. Her carefully constructed world of charm, flirtation, and lies had collapsed instantly. I didn't need to act. I didn't need to accuse. My calm composure and presence were enough to expose her, leaving her powerless in a way that shouting or confronting never could. I stood slowly, letting my presence register in the room. Guests began to notice. Their curiosity piqued by the obvious tension between us. I reached for my coat, deliberately slow, showing no desperation, no fear, no anger, only calm confidence. Her lips quivered, her eyes darted, searching for a way to save face. But there was no escape. In a single moment, the power dynamics had shifted completely. The very person she had tried to humiliate me was now the one in control simply by walking away. The silent strength of my actions spoke louder than words ever could. As I opened the door and stepped outside, the cool night air felt like freedom. Behind me, the muffled laughter and conversations continued. Oblivious or maybe finally aware of what had just occurred. I didn't look back. I didn't call her. I didn't even consider chasing her down. For the first time in weeks, I felt unburdened, untangled from the web of lies she had been weaving. My exit said everything. My dignity intact, my composure unwavering, my awareness absolute. She had underestimated me, and that miscalculation had made all the difference. Later that night, my phone buzzed relentlessly. Dozens of messages poured in. Apologies, guilt, excuses, frantic explanations, but I ignored them all. There was nothing left to say. The truth had already spoken for itself in the restaurant, in front of witnesses, in front of the very people she had hoped would never see through her facade. She had misjudged me, misjudged the situation, and now she had to face the consequences alone. I didn't need to argue, fight, or humiliate her. My calm, deliberate presence and exit had done more than I could have ever done with words. That night changed everything. I realized I didn't need to shout, cry, or beg. I simply needed to be calm, observant, and decisive. My wife had underestimated the quiet strength of my patience and the clarity of my mind. By sitting in that corner, by letting the truth unfold naturally, by calmly exposing her without confrontation, I reclaimed my dignity. I left the restaurant, leaving her shocked, exposed, and speechless. And in that moment, I understood something important. The life I thought I had with her, the trust one thought existed, was gone. And I would never look back.